Am I live yet? You guys can see this. Popular preflop charts. Honestly, if I knew that these preflop charts were the alternative to my free ones, I probably wouldn't have taken down the free ones, because this is very disappointing, guys. And I'm talking to you, whoever fucking made these. Step it up. I mean, the state of no limit hold'em depends on you trying to educate your students, and if this is the best you can come up with, like, what the actual fuck? Anyway, hello in the chat. Who do we got? BMO has some to compare. Please send in PM or email. I'll have a look at them as well. I have some by Peter Clark, but I can't figure out how to open them because it's just a binary file. We'll just look at some of these. G'day Nathan, g'day Jack, g'day That Kid Sucks. Remember to like the video. We'll and if you guys have anything you want to send to me for me to look at, and hopefully not. I mean, by the end of this video, I would have lost like a decade of my life expectancy just at the end, just because of how shit these are. We'll go into it. Let's just start with some of the ranges that Money sent to me. Money J2K, he knows who he is. He owns this website. Thanks for letting me do this with this size, but only multi-size. Don't know what that means. No, we're just going to look at everything. Some of these, I think he said that these ones came from like Poker Detox or something. This one here is from, and this is like the best of the lot that I've seen, and it's still pretty trash. Should we start from like good to bad or bad to good? What was the range inverter one? This is the range inverter one. Okay, that we've got in this viewer here. Range converter for a one-off charge of $527 plus $9 per month, guys. Plus $9 per month after you already paid the $527. You get this sim. Hello, cat. You get this sim with 2.2 big blind opens from 6 positions. 2.2. Just 2.2. And then the 3-bet size is 3.4x for the imposition. And there's not even like, is there even a small blind call? Okay, there is a small blind cutoff call. There's no MP call. All right. They haven't done too bad, but you know, 2.2. Okay, because everyone opens 2.2 and 3-bets to exactly these sizes. Just exactly these sizes. Everyone just goes exactly 7.51 when you're on the button over the 2.2 and the 9.98. Like that's exactly what's going on, right? $527 plus $9 a month. Like what? You can see the blood vessel coming out of the side of my head. What even are these sizes? Why would you go to 17.51 and then 19.51 and then 20.51? I feel that's just sloppy. Like people have. Okay. This is the cold 4-bet range, guys. Queens plus ace queen suited. It's 500Z rake. And then for some reason, everything opens to 2.2 and the small blind just suddenly decides to open to 3. I mean, at least I got the small blind call in there, which is nice. Small blind call. Let's see what sizes we have available. Only 3.5, and then the coming over the top only goes to 13. So I mean, maybe the small blind just doesn't like to limp if it can only 3-bet to 13 over the 3.5, because you know everybody isolates your small blind limp to exactly 3.5 all the time. Jesus Christ. This is the best that we've got, guys. We're starting at the top, and then we're going to go down. We're going to go good to bad. All right, so this is the best we've got so far. Okay, so let's have a look at some squeeze size. I just want to see look at what sizes we've got. Like under the gun, open, cutoff call. What's the squeeze size here? Okay, goes up to 12. Button call. What's the squeeze size? Suddenly goes up to 14.2. And the small blind is not allowed to overcall. Okay. What? In what universe do you not have a small blind call range yet? You just disallowed it because you wanted to save RAM. Because you don't know how to construct the preflop or postflop trees properly. And then you go and run it to like a bajillion number of I to N and think that that's particularly accurate. There's not even a small blind call. Like cutoff call. Okay, now the small blind calls. Get 2 calls. MP can't call. I mean, to be fair, I haven't run my 6 max sims with an MP call yet, but I'll do that soon. MP open, cutoff call, button call. Cutoff call, button call. And now the small blind calls. I'm looking at the right one. Cutoff call. Button call. No. Small blinds. G'day, Jared. I hope you're doing well. Send me a PM if you don't want me to. Jesus Christ. All right. Now this is the Poker Detox. I don't even know what that is. Poker Detox. CFP. I don't know. I don't really care. These guys are doing something, and they think that they're doing something, and they've come up with these ranges. I mean, at least they've used different open sizes. Let's have a look at the 3-bet size under the gun. Okay, you 3-bet to 6. That's not too bad. But then we get to the small blind. You 3-bet to 8, and then you 3-bet to 8 in the big blind. Like just look at this, guys. So we just look at the under the gun min open. Button 3-betting to 8 4.9% of the time. Maybe it seems fair. We'll go to 2.5. 2.5 open. Now the big blind is 3-betting to a bigger size, 11 big blinds. And they're 3-betting 6.3% of the time. So they're 3-betting to a bigger size more often against the big open size. And now let's have a look at the 3x open. 3x open. I don't know what even this is. Why is there no calls, and why is the 3-bet size in position 13 big blinds over a 3x open? What were you thinking when you made this sim? Whoever these guys are, like who? Calm down, Thomas. Calm down. How is everybody doing in the chat? Why should small stakes or micro stakes a small blind call? I mean, you should small blind. You should call out a small blind, even when the rake is very very high. Especially overcalling when you've got like a pocket pair with really good odds to set mine. Why would you 3-bet to 13 blinds after they open 3 big blinds? And then going back to the big blind, you've got them going to 6.2 and you're 3-betting to 14.5. So let me get this straight. The under the gun's opened to a bigger size where they should have a more polar, stronger range. And now you want to three bet them to a bigger size more often. How is that just not losing? How do we know it's bad though? I mean, you can compare them to my ranges. I'll show you. Here you've got mixed Preflop ranges. I mean, I haven't put a call here, but I'm going to be running a call in that spot later this year. Multiple three bet sizes. You pick the correct 3-bet size. You pick the 3-bet size that your opponent actually used in game, and you get the range appropriate for it. Unlike these other ranges, which only has a single size. Like half of the benefit of Preflop ranges is to get a result for what your opponent has thrown against you, right? Not just telling you how to play. So it's made it so that you're playing in this really stupid way where you end up three betting bigger with a wider range against the bigger open size, which a beginner could tell you is incorrect, right? But somehow all the sims and stuff are being run to make all this shit work. Don't know for sure that they got from why. Just why. All right, what's next? Upswing. I mean, upswing, bluff the spot. I think upswing tried. I mean, they tried really hard. To make some shit that came from a solver and then tried to simplify it or something. But what does it say? Recommended open raise or fold, no limping in the small blind. Bonus small blind limping. Uses a big blind isolation size to 4 big blinds, a limp re-raise to 14, 4-bet to 29, more polarized response. Details in the videos. Okay, well first of all, why are these the recommended sizes? You just run a single size sim. Like why is this stuff the recommended size? This is the button versus this is the big blind squeeze versus button and small blind. So button open, small blind calls, and this is what you come up with the squeeze. And I just get a picture. Without. Okay, I've also got BPC ranges coming in. Don't know what these are. Thanks, BMO. Excel spreadsheet with macros. Okay, let's have a look at the advanced one. They've got this nice little PDF. This nice little PDF, which tells you the RFI ranges. Is this telling you what you should do, or is this telling you like how to respond to your opponents? Because it should do both. Okay. And it doesn't tell you what size to open or what sizes you can open. Do I have the canoe range? I don't know. If someone wants to send me the canoe ranges, I'll look at them too. But why is there so much variation in the cutoff? What is going on with Jack 8 suited, 10 8 suited? Let me zoom in so you guys can see better. What is going on? Versus under the gun RFI. Just fold everything and have no flats, even though the under the gun has the highest density of aces of all players, and you want to see if they're bluffing, and the big blind's not going to squeeze over the top of you, so you're just not going to flat against him. even like the cutoff or the small blind. Like what is this? Like why the only reason why people come up with this shit is because they try to fit it all into, you know, 3 days worth of simulation work on some Contabo server, right? Oh, I only want to hire the Contabo server for a month because it cost me $300, $400, and I don't really know how to use Monka Solver very well. So I'm just gonna like try and fit everything in, and the way that I'll do that is by removing all the cold core ranges. Just remove it from that to save RAM. Like why? And then you come up with stuff like this where you just end up playing 3-bet or fold because like that's all you can do, and you don't even have proper squeeze ranges because they weren't calculated, because you didn't know how to calculate them, because you only ran the sim for 5 days. And you tried to squid, you tried to fit the entire 9 max tree into 256 gigabytes of RAM or some bullshit, or 512 if you really want to fork out the $500 for a month, or $700, I can't remember, might be like €500. Only gun 1, same problems. Only gun 2, same problems. Like this is nice little raise, call, fold. Doesn't tell you what size. Doesn't tell what size your opponent's used. Canoe's range is almost the same as the range converter one. Okay, well, I mean, we talked about that. That wasn't as bad as this stuff. So it doesn't tell you what size to use. It doesn't tell you what size your opponent's used. Doesn't give you any information about that. Doesn't have flooding in the small blind. Doesn't have any kind of semblance of like squeeze. Do we have squeezes? Come on, tell me we've got squeezes somewhere. Under the gun versus 3-bet. And this is your... Like surely if you just like looked at Poker Snowy or something, you would get a better result than this. And Poker Snowy is like 5 years old now, so okay. And then these hands are indifferent between calling and folding somehow. Like it doesn't tell you what size they're indifferent for. It doesn't give you any really information about how to play, any information about the polarity of the ranges. These aren't markers. Yeah, I mean, very colorful, JG. Of course, mine are super colorful. Like, look at all these. Look at all the pretty colors. You can change the colors. Like here you got hijack, cutoff. Let's have a look at cutoff. Cutoff open to 2.25. Not only do my ranges tell you how to play, they also tell you how to respond to every single size your opponent can throw at you, right? Versus, I mean, this, I don't know what the fuck that was. Right, doesn't even have multiple 3-bet sizes that you can put in. Like, what happens when you want to open 2.5, right, from under the gun, and then they 3-bet to 6, or they 3-bet to 13, or they 3-bet to 10.5? You don't know how to respond because it doesn't tell you. It doesn't give you any information. It doesn't get any information about what your opponent's flatting range might look like. All right, so you can't even run postflop sim with them flatting. Because the flatting has been removed. The same thing here, like the flatting has just been removed. So you can't even run. They do it in several color options, silence, yeah. Okay, this was just the PDF, and then Upswing gives us the nice little, this is just downloaded from their website or some shit. This is just screenshots from the solver. This is the button RFI range. It doesn't tell you what size. Does it tell you what size? What is this? RFI notes. Let's have a look at this. Raise first into 2.25. Is that it? Does it tell you how to respond to a size that's different to this? Hang on, we've got big blind versus something. Big blind versus button with the different sizes. Great. Let's have a look. So the 3-bet size, the 3-bet range is exactly the same. Doesn't tell you anything about what size to use. Squeeze notes. Do I have anything? What do I have? Squeeze notes, blind on blind, and 3-bet notes. Big blind 3-bets out of position to 11.25. Small blind 3-bets to 9.75. So she's always going to 3-bet the exact same size against any open. Big small blind versus where is the small blind? Small one, big blind ISO. I mean, someone put a lot of work into this. You know, taking screenshots from Pio Solver. That's a really it's a really like brain intensive task. Taking screenshots from Pio. Like, I mean, there was no thinking beforehand, and there was no thinking afterhand. But during the time when you're taking the screenshots from Pio, that's when you're doing all the thinking. Jesus Christ. Where is the small blind 3-bet range? I can't see it. Small blind versus cutoff 4-bet. Small blind versus. Oh my God. Small blind versus under the gun RFI. Okay, you're also playing 3-bet or fold from the small blind against the under the gun RFI. Doesn't tell you what size I opened. Why would you play 3-bet or fold against the under the gun? You can just flat and defend the pot by calling with like a lot of your hands, and just take the free dead money. Like, there's dead money in there that's free, and the big blind's not going to squeeze you because the low jack's so tight. So you can just flat a bunch of hands and play post flop. And if you go multi-way, you go multi-way. Why would you play 3-bet or fold? You're just losing EV with so many hands. This disgruntled former employee trashes preflop charts. Yeah, that's what's happening. I'm just going on like a massive rant. Sorry, guys. Where was I? And like, this is because like no one thought about the game. Like, no one thought about what's actually happening in the game before they made the sims. And then when they made the sims, they wanted to cheap out on them, and instead of like spending like the 2 years like I have to actually create good fucking preflop sims, they take 5 days and 7 days and then call it the best shit in the world. Like, it's not. Oh my God. Ooh. What is this? Big blind versus small blind limp raise. What? Limp raise. Yeah, limp 3-bet range. Okay. And this is supposed to be 100 big blinds deep, I guess. Preflop RFI range is free on Zenith. I mean, I used to have free charts, and if I had known that this was the quality of the other stuff that people were paying for, I probably would have kept the free charts there. But yeah, you're exactly right. Silence. The earlier the opener, the greater density they have aces in their range, so you can flat without you can flat as a larger proportion of the continuing range without the players behind you squeezing. Okay, so that's upswing. Should we move on? How long have we been ranting for? Bluff the spot. I mean, I imagine this is just going to be much of the same. Introduction. This guy made 1.2 mil or something. Okay. Doesn't tell you when this was played. Doesn't tell you like what stakes it was played at. I mean, I'm sure you can figure that out. But like, if you play enough hands, you can just like cut out a bunch of losing sessions, and then you get a graph like this. CFP, some bullshit CFP, right? You know, everyone wants to get free coaching. You get free coaching, and you only have to pay for the coaching if you win. Da da da. Free coaching. Oh my God. Okay, open raise. Let's zoom in so you guys can see this. Out of position, extremely important to control the size of the pot. That's why I recommend a small raise size. All right. Okay, so we've gone from last century to this century, opening smaller from earlier position. Great. Good start. Good start, BTS. Okay, benefits and downsides. All right. And then you go and talk about the benefits of keeping the pot small when you're out of position, but then you go and open to 2.2. Okay. And it doesn't tell you anything about how to respond to an opponent that opens to a different size. You just play the exact same way, regardless of what size they open. Like how do you not just get wrecked by people who open different sizes with different hands? Like how do you not get wrecked by the fucking live 1-2 guy that's going to be opening to 10x with aces and then just limping pocket twos, right? You're going to get wrecked by them if you've played the exact same way to the different open size. Like you're not thinking, and the people who made this just weren't. And then whatever sim that they based their shit off just was like, oh my God. Anti-game, raising versus raising versus limps. Oh my God. Okay. We haven't even talked about that. Like no one knows how to raise play correctly against the limp, and so like they do this shit, and then they don't realize that they just get destroyed by people who know how to limp raise. Like they get annihilated. If you play like this in this decade, you're gonna get wrecked by the limper because you're playing way too many hands and you're not attacking it with your raise size appropriately. Under the gun in 9 max. Let's zoom out. I guess it's under gun 6 max because BTS would be 6 max or some shit. What? Why are you playing so many suited connectors? I don't know. This is just asking to lose. Middle position. I mean, the opening ranges usually converge to each other, so this is not too bad. And this is small blind, just playing raise or fold. Limping in the small blind should be avoided below NL1K because the rake is simply too high. I mean, that's just not true. Like you end up, because it's 5% capped at whatever, you end up paying the same amount of rake by making a limp in the first place. Like the limp gets taken out after you choose to limp. You both at NL1K and NL10, you're going to have the same 5% of the pot being taken out when you choose to limp, and they check back. It's only the money after that you put in after, like post flop, that would change in terms of the rate cap. Like, okay, 3-bet sizes in big blinds at 100 big blind siding stacks and 3-betting by position. So this is just telling you what to do, but it doesn't tell you how to respond to anything that your opponent does that is different to this. You get BTS loves suited connectors. Assumption that limp range is poorly constructed. I mean, there's other ways to exploit the limp if it's not correctly constructed. Standard 3-bet range. I mean, this is, I don't know how this was made, but MPVers under the gun, no flatting. Cutovers under the gun, no flatting. Cutovers MP, no flatting. Button 3-bet. Bluff the spot recommends playing a 3-bet or fold strategy from the button. What is this? This is supposed to be some sort of Bible that people... Like you just have no idea how to play. What happens when someone opens a slightly different size to the one that you have in your Bible? Like, calling strategy, button versus under the gun. When playing a flatting range, 3-bet size should increase 0.5 to 1. We only recommend playing a flatting strategy with recreational player sitting in the blinds. How wide we want to flat depends on the opening size, original raiser, blah, blah, blah. Why don't you just play this and then just learn how to play multi-way on the button post-flop? It's like the easiest shit to learn. And it's got like folding 10s or something. Like what is going on there? Is that folding? Why is it? I don't understand. Or maybe something to do with the background. I don't know why it's folding 10s and 9s, then calling 8s, then folding 7s through 4s. Because it was 3-betting the 10s and 9s there. Like if you have a sim and then this is saying that you're playing 3-bet or fold. Okay, so 3-bet or fold, you're indifferent between 3-betting and folding. But then you have the second sim that says that 8s can profitably be flat. So what's the answer, BTS? Is it profitable to continue with 8s? Or is the EV 0? Tell me the answer. I want to know. What does this mean? It's like ace 8 suited. Like ace 4 and ace 5 are just like not even in there. Like they just have a flatting range. You win EV because of it. Like a lot, because no one knows how to play multi-way. And you're on the button. Like, even if you don't know how to play multi-way, if you know how to play just as well as everyone else, you'll do fine. Bluff the spot recommends playing a 3-bet or fold strategy from a small blind. This is oh my god. You're not going to get squeezed. You can just flat and then you play with a tighter range in the big blind position. Right, just learn how to play post flop. Some high set guys on Zenith and simping, like everyone simps. It's just like how quickly they get over their love of simping. Everyone loves to simp, and so like they take these Bibles as like their actual pre-flop strategy, and then they have no idea how to respond to different open sizes. They play the exact same way against a min open from under the gun and against a 3x open from under the gun. Strategy deviations, blah, 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 3-betting a... If this was the advantage of 3-betting a... Why are you 3-betting a depolarized range out of the big blind? What? What size are you 3-betting to if you're 3-betting a depolarized range? Are you just flatting ace king against under the gun? I mean, some really old pre-flop sims will do that. What size were they flat? What size were they 3-betting again? Big blind 3-bets to 11.5 against everything except for small blind, which is 3-bet to 9. And then the small blind increases the 3-bet size for some reason, but the big blind doesn't. and they're three betting a depolarized range. Just why? Why do you put yourself into this spot with these hands? Like, why would you? Like, you're just gonna 3-bet jacks and then like hate yourself when they 4-bet you? Like my low jack sim is not that good, but like it can tell you to just not 3-bet jacks against the low jack, right? It's just calling 95% of the time. Like 10s just 99.8% of the time. If I ran the precision up, it would just flatter all the time. Like queens is even flatting sometimes. But this thing is like, okay, well, we're just gonna 3-bet queens all the time, and then in order to compensate for our shitty pre-flop strategy, we're gonna flat ace king. We're gonna flat the hand with the best blockers, and the hand that likes to play when the stack to pot ratio is low, but because you're only using one tiny 3-bet size with a depolarized range, it doesn't benefit from the fact that you've reduced the stack to pot ratio because you can't 3-bet big because you don't know how. 3-bet larger size in the small blind than the big blind. And I don't know why you call this depolarized. Like, how is 3-betting 7-5 suited against the low jack depolarized? They just don't know what they're doing. They just don't know. This is the big blind versus the small blind. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's not too hard to get this right or close to right because there's only two players and like the game tree is pretty simple. But this, what is this? Big blind versus button. I don't even know what button size do they recommend again? Like 2.5. Small blind fold. Why do you want to put yourself into really shit spots with like queen jack suited, queen 10 suited, jack 10 suited? Like all these hands here, like why are you putting yourself into a really shit spot by letting them 4-bet you? I mean, the sim says so. The sim says so. Well, the sim says so because you only let it use the one size, and you only let the button use one size. 4-bet. Four-bet size on big blind stacks. Does it tell you anything about running when the stack is deeper? Strategy deviations, slow playing ace king. Under the gun versus small blind and big blind. Just play the exact same against the two players, regardless of what they're doing. Jesus Christ. Preflop Bible light. Preflop Bible light. All right, let's get into the good stuff. What is this? This overnight monster thing? Hang on, I've got an Excel spreadsheet or something open here. BPC. Don't know who these guys are. Yeah. You get to click in the with macros. We got macros. Okay, so which one do we want to look at first? Macro may not be available in this workbook. Okay. All right. Enable content. I've got one that's labeled basic and one that's labeled advanced. Small blind forward frequency in the BTS range is much lower than the Zenith ones. I mean, we discussed why, like, okay. We should look at the basic one first. I don't know why this says it's basic. Okay, under the gun open. Sure. You're folding. You're going to open 7-6 suited and 8-7 suited, but you're folding like King Jack off and the suited nines and the suited aces, which just have more equity against any player all the time. And the MP comes on, you're still folding King 9 suited. And then you just, you choose to play SN offsuit, but not King Jack offsuit because clearly better. Maybe we'll get more in the advanced. No, it's the exact same in the advanced or the open. Can someone tell me who BPC is? I don't know what. And then like the cutoff suddenly adds a whole bunch of hands at full frequency all the time. Button. Oh, we're playing the 4-3 suited. Brilliant. Ace-2 offsuit. Brilliant. Small blind. Can someone tell me something is wrong with this? you just limp this, and then what happens when they raise? What? Or is this meaning like if you're playing limp or fold? I think this is what this means. If you're only playing best poke coaching. If you're only playing RFI, you can RFI 33.65. But if you're playing limp or fold, you can add on an extra 33.18% of hands. What? Make up your decision. Is it plus EV to open limp fucking 10-7 offsuit or not? Tell me now. Be fucking PC. Tell me, is it plus EV or not to limp 10-7 offsuit in the small blind? Make up your mind. It can't be one. It can't. It has to be one or the other. It's either going to be plus EV to limp, or it's going to be zero EV, right? It's going to be minus EV. You just fold. Let's have a look at the advanced ones because I'm done with this. Save my changes. No, thank you. Let's zoom in. All right, let's have a look at button versus under the gun. What? What am I looking at? This is peak poker, guys. This is peak poker. You've got peak preflop strategy right here. Just flat ace king suited. Button versus 3x. Okay, we've got strategies against different sizes now. Okay, great. Okay, so versus 3x, we're flatting ace king suited. Range not yet available. Okay, someone didn't put in the effort to. Someone put the button here, but didn't put in the effort to figure out the range. 2.5, 3-bet or call. Okay. For some reason, Queen Jack suited is way weaker than 8-7 suited. It's just so much weaker than you just fold it, and then you're not continuing 6-5, 6-5, 7-6, 6-4. Okay, with a caller now. So button squeeze versus under the gun 3x. Button squeeze is not specific versus position. Okay, so if the hijack flats, it's the exact same as if the cutoff flats. The exact same. Okay. Button versus MP. 3.5 is not available. This is just copy and paste of this one. You see that? Copy paste. Because it's so difficult to create things that are like good. We just copy paste. Copy paste. Let's call button squeeze not versus specific position. I don't even know what that means. Ah, okay. You can change the size and then you see whether or not it's a caller. Right, okay. Nice little macros we've got here. So add a caller. Squeeze or call. Doesn't tell you how many callers. Doesn't tell you what size to use. What size are we using, guys? What does this mean? No, that's the 4-bet range. That's the versus 4-bet range. It doesn't tell you what size to squeeze. How are you supposed to use it if it doesn't tell you anything? Like it doesn't even tell you. It tells you what hands to make a play. Show the cold 4-bet. I don't even know how to do that here. MP versus cutoff 3-bet. What? Under the gun. This is the undergun versus MP 3-bet. Your 4-bet range is exactly kings, aces, and ace king offsuit. It's exactly that. And it's the same against the cutoff, same against the button. Is it going to be the same against the small blind? Yeah, it's the same against the small blind, same against the big blind. Your 4 range is always going to be kings, aces, and ace king offsuit against a 9 big blind. And then when it goes to 12. Oh my god! What am I looking at? What am I looking at? Oh. This is the best poker coaching, guys. Okay. So what were we trying to do? Bun versus cutoff. Oh, we got cold 4-bet. Yeah, okay. Cold 4-bet. So this is our cold 4-bet range. Range not yet available. I understand. No. Okay, so the bun cold 4-bet versus cutoff 6 big blind. See your silence. So you're just flatting. What happens in the small blind? Small blind versus like button cold 4-bet. Yeah, you just cold flat the 3 blind. Yeah, what am I even saying? You just flat the 3-bet. You just flat the 3-bet out of position with the cap range. And is it not going to tell you what happens after the first player comes over top? It's okay. Just cold 4-bet. MP. Oh hey, they got a 4-bet of fold option. They're getting spicy with it. All right, small blind versus limp. Okay, they have small blind versus limp, but they don't have. Ah, okay, they do have some versus limps. This is the button ISO versus the undergun limp, guys. BPC is a meme. I mean, it's just so funny. I want to keep going. All right, we'll. Someone's given me 2 of these. Blowbert's got some. Is it something from Caritas? All right. Well, which one do you guys want to look at next? Caritas or Overt Monster? Okay, range 1 undergun open. I'm gonna have to like copy and paste this stuff into this shit. Copy, paste. So specific, 7.17%. This is the undergun opening range. So what have they done? They just run some sort of preflop solve and they just copy and pasted it into a text document. This is very valuable information, guys. Big blind call versus small blind. Big blind 3-bet to 12 versus button 2.5. 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. Do they do anything besides 2.5? Nah. Copy paste, copy paste. Looking at the 4-bet now. 27, range 27. Range 27. Call versus button shove. All right, we got squeeze ranges. Small blind call versus undergun and hijack. Don't know what that means. Small blind calling range. You can see undergun and the hijack. This just looks like it's just been taken out of some preflop sim. Probably very similar to the preflop sim that we looked at the beginning. There's these range converter ones. It doesn't tell you anything about what size to use. Oh no, it does tell you what size to use. I mean, this size is probably the exact same size that they put into sim because like you have 4-bets to 29 big blinds when you're 100 blinds deep, which is genius shit. Why didn't they just give you the sim? Like, why did they copy and paste and they got range missing now? Did they just hire some GCO wizard solves? I mean, just send them to me, Jared. Send me them. I'll have a look. Okay, so this is just one preflop sim which they copy pasted data into a text document and then they sold it. Why didn't they just give you the sim? I've got upswing as lots of images. Yeah, I've got the upswing one. Sadly, this is just images of the sim. Why don't they just give you the sim? Like, are they afraid that you're gonna like run off with their content? That's what they're afraid of. They're afraid that you're gonna fucking like share it or some shit. I give away my sims for free. These exact sims that you got in this viewer here, the sims themselves, you can download the raw data for free. And okay, overnight monster. Let's move to this one. People sending me more information. Okay, GTO wizard game tree. I don't know. I need a. All right, let's look at the game tree. Under the gun, you got 2 open sizes. You can you can raise to 2.5, or you can jam. Nothing else. 3 bet to 9. Okay. 3 bet to 11. Big blind 3 bets to 11. What is the range? Under the gun fold, hijack fold. So this button opens at 2.5, and this is the button's continuing range to the small blind 3 bet. What was the small blind 3 bet range? I would prefer to know that. I mean, this isn't too bad. This is just taken from a preflop sim, with only one size, which is the same as we looked at the first thing. This is the small blind 3 bet range. Yeah, okay. So they've just copy pasted shit from a sim, which they ran on, you know, Monka or whatever. I mean, so people tried at least. They tried. I mean, they didn't give you anything else. They didn't give you any information about how to play when people raise to a size that's outside of their sim, because they only use one size. This is the exact way to play, and no one else knows the same shit that I know. You raise to 11, exactly 11, and if they raised anything besides 2.5, anything besides 2.5 open from the button is illegal. They should be kicked out of the card room because they raised something more different to 2.5. Because this is limit, no limit hold'em, guys. Sorry for slamming my desk. Limit, no limit hold'em, where we call it no limit hold'em, but you're limited to the exact sizes that are in my sim. And if they're not in my sim, they don't exist. Jesus. How do we get access to the Zenith Preflop ranges? I mean, just go to the website, Zenith.poker. You sign up, you go to the library, you download full 6 max for free. I mean, if you want to, you can like pause the video and then plug that in, plug this exact link in, and you'll be able to download it. GTO Wizard ran preflop using Monk, and then they ran the 17-5 flops in every post-flop spot. What are they doing? What are they doing? They got no clue. What? Yeah, so you can, and then in the README there's a link to a video to set up Monka Viewer, to be able to view all the sims for free. You can view all the sims in the Monka Viewer program. It takes about an hour to load because Monka Viewer is shit. I've gone and created my own viewer. Well, I mean, I didn't make it, but some really smart guys that I hired did, and they're in the Discord group. Hello, Alex and Nick. Made this, and it's just Monka Viewer on steroids. It's got all the ranges in it. This stuff down the bottom is if you've got live cache elites, but if you just do buy the standard version, you get 100 big blind standard, 100 big blind heads up, and 200 big blind standard. And there's a free trial where you get button and small blind as well. So you just sign up, you go to the training, you sign up to the Preflop fundamentals course, and that automatically gives you the free trial for button and small blind opens with all the different sizes. And then later on, if you choose that you like it, you can buy the advanced Preflop theory course, which gets everything 100 big blind and 200 big blind with all the sizes, all the responses. You know exactly how to play against any size that your opponent throws at you. All right, that's that. Corto Montez, g'day. What else we got? Okay. Overnight Monster. I don't know what the difference between this Yoinks fixed one is and then this other one. Something's fixed. Okay, well, I mean, the second one, what have they changed? They've added a space, as you can see. Well, they've removed a space, and now you've got these exact sizes. We can open to 2.5, or we can open to 3 if we're in the small blind. We can't do anything else. And we can 3-bet to exactly 8 or 10. Oh no, this one's got some more. This one's got 1 big blind cap, 1 big blind cap with 5% rate, 4 flop sizings plus. Okay. Do they want to tell us what sizes they were? Do they want to tell us if there were any raised sizes? 3-bet out of position, 11 in the small blind, 12 in the big blind. 4-bet in position to 2.25 and then 4-bet out of position to 2.7. Why exactly this? Anyway, and like it doesn't even tell you exactly what the exact size is, but we just have to perform multiplication in our head. And if our opponent, you know, uses a size that's different to this, right? So say for example, we open to 2.5 and then in P and we get clicked up to 5, right? We 4-bet to 2.7. So what's 2.7 times 5? That's like 13.5. So our 4-bet size is 13.5 big blinds out of position. That's exactly how to play. I mean, this is telling me the answer, right? It's telling me exactly how to play. My 4-bet size against a 5 big blind open. Sorry, a 5 big blind 3-bet. Is 13.5 big blinds. Is Zenith solved for like 10 size responses? Yes. Because I know how to create and understand why it's important to have the multiple sizes so you can actually play the game properly. You can see and respond properly to how the opponents are playing. I don't know how these two are different. Is it something to do with rake and no rake? The 2.5 range has changed a bit. I mean, this is like just copy pasted from a sim. MP versus EP. We're just playing 3-bet or fold against EP again. I mean, I'm going to make a whole video on simping. Don't worry, guys. Big button versus EP. Just you just don't have any flats. No flats against EP. You're not allowed to flat. Flatting is illegal. Close yoinks fixed. All right. Flatting is illegal. Flatting is illegal out of the small blind. 99% of the people watching have no clue why you're laughing. I'm not sure that's true because there's only 53 people watching. So I don't really this one is old. I mean, if you want to send me the most recent ones, I mean, they just take it from some preflop sim, and like if you go to the beginning of the video and you see why, like, just see the differences between what the strategy actually looks like when you allow stuff like flatting, because you're not going to like skimp out on RAM. Like, I hired this Contabo sim, this Contabo, you know, server, and like it's got a really nice CPU. Well, it's actually got 2 CPUs. It's got 2 really fast CPUs, and it's got 512 gigabytes of RAM, which is a lot of RAM, right? Because, you know, really fast CPU, a lot of RAM. That means that I can solve the game, right? No, you can't fit the entire game into that amount of RAM. The game is too big. How many 2 terabyte Contabo servers do you need to do everything you want? I mean, it took me a very long time in order to create this. But like, I mean, if people are gonna like run their sim for 5 days and then call it done, you know, like I have a Monka sim running in the background while we're recording this. Like this Monka sim is tiny, right? It doesn't have to be very big in order to get the answer with the tree sizes that have been put in, that have been input, right? Like this is a very tiny tree with only one 3-bet size. You don't need to have your settings to fill up 256 gigabytes of RAM to get a good answer. But people do that, so they're just wasting resources. They don't know how to construct the sims properly. They don't know anything about the difference between accuracy and precision. So they just assume that the more precise it is, the better it is, right? The more precise it is, the better it is. But that's not true, right? You and then they go and try and fit every different open position into one big sim, like what's happened here on Jonker. Like this thing here, which is just some Monk of your stuff, was all calculated together, right? So sure, I mean you can calculate it all together in 256 or 512 with a single open size and no flatting from certain positions, blah blah blah. But then each individual open only gets calculated with like 32 gigabytes of RAM or some shit, right? It doesn't get calculated with actually that much RAM given to that size open, right? Especially like the late position open, like the button open probably only has like 16 gigabytes of RAM associated to it, right? When what you could do is just split the game tree up and then solve the sub games, because if you accept the fact that you kind of have to just pretend that the bunching doesn't exist when the only gun player folds or whatever, you can get really good open, really good sims with the 256 gigabytes of RAM. How did I do this? Yeah, so each of these was a different simulation. So the low jack open was just the low jack open. After low jack folds, the sim ended, right? I didn't really care. And then I ran this with 256 gigabytes of RAM. And it's not just this one, right? I had, in order to calculate the low jack limp, I had to run a different sim and then cut and paste the two sims together, right? Into this viewer. So it's two different sims, each with 256 gigabytes of RAMs, just looking at the low jack open, cut and paste together so that you guys get the result in my range viewer. I'm going to redo the low jack one because the low jack one was done a long time ago, and I want to add more sizes. Yeah, bunching doesn't matter if you're playing three-handed. If you use this when you're playing three-handed, right? You don't worry about bunching. And like this small blind one was calculated with a button open, so you've already got the effect of some bunching there. So once again, we're not allowed to flatten the small blind. We're not allowed to flatten the button. Right. The only place we're allowed to flat is the big blind. And because we're only allowed to flatten the big blind, there's going to be absolutely no information about how to squeeze. Right? Because squeezing is illegal, because flatting anywhere else besides the big blind is illegal. Bunching is the card removal from the folding range of the earlier position players. It's very, very small. It's like 0.5%. Button flat versus cutoff. Okay, you're allowed to flat against the cutoff, but allowed to flat against a cutoff, against MP, against EP. Oh, you do have some squeeze ranges, yeah. Okay. Don't understand. Okay. Button flat versus EP, and then you got button 3-bet versus EP, like button 3-bet range here. Why would you separate it out like that? Because the second one was taken out of a different sim with button flats. And they're giving you this range so then you can actually run your post-flop sims or whatever from it. Because someone complained that, hey, there's no button flats in your sim. I need a button flatting range so then I can run some post-flop sims. And they're just like, oh, but we like playing 3-bet or fold out of the button. So we don't have any flats. So we can't really tell the answer because we don't really know the answer because we didn't think about the correct way to arrive at the correct answer. Okay. All right. People don't know how to construct sims, guys. I mean, this sim here, this sim that I'm running takes 6 gigabytes of RAM with some heavy abstraction, and it can just give you the button open with the one size, right? Like you don't need that much post flop resolution if you're solving pre-flop. You just need to get a decent estimation for the post-flop EV. So if that's really all you need, a decent estimation of the pre-flop of the post-flop EV to solve pre-flop, then why are you making your post-flop trees ridiculously big and unabstracted? Just abstract shit down, and I'm giving my competitors pointers in terms of how to build proper pre-flop sims. But anyway, to anyone who got pissed off at me for removing the free ranges on the old website, I'm sorry. I didn't know that this shit was what you guys had as an alternative. But also, I'm not super sorry because you guys shouldn't be looking at charts like this anyway. A full tutorial on how to put it in Monka. In an ideal world, you just have all the servers needed to do everything you wanted. Yeah, I mean, I'm building my own servers to do everything I want. How to do it in Monka. Moravec, yeah, so with each of these open positions, so with each of these open positions, the open limp range gets removed very quickly when you run a sim. Okay, so looking here, the open limp range gets removed very quickly. So, say for example, I'm looking at the hijack, and I want to run a hijack sim with decent accuracy for 2 big blind, 2.25 big blind, and 2.5 big blind. Then I can just run one sim with them, and then I run a different sim, the older sim, with say a limp and a min raise, and maybe some other size if I have enough RAM. And then that would calculate for me the GTO response to the limp range. And then because the opening range is not quite as accurate as I want, and all I need is a response to the limping range to add to my strategy, I cut out the limping part of one sim and put it into the viewer alongside the other sizes. So from your point of view, when you're looking at this, it appears as if I run a sim with limping alongside of it. And it gives you the optimal, or at least a very strong strategy to counter the limp. All right, same for this 3 big blind open. This was taken from an older sim. I put it in there. The most recent sim is a split between 2 big blind, 2.25 and 2.5, and then the 1 big blind limp and the 3 big blind open are from 2 different sims, which we've cut and paste together to present it here to you. Yeah, you get precision errors and stuff. Like the limping is so bad that the solver rejects it very, very quickly when you actually run the sim. And so this response to the limp is already a fairly strong counter strategy. You can play it exactly the way the solver plays it, or you can play it as an approximation, or you can copy and paste ranges into your post-flop sims if you want to use that. You're probably just not going to get the exact limping range, so you'll have to estimate that yourself. But the viewer, it just chugs along, and it tells you a very strong strategy to any size that your opponent can use at any node in the game tree. So instead of just some crappy fucking PDF file or some like Excel spreadsheet, you're looking at multiple sims combined together and tells you exactly how to play in a way that's very close to GTO, or as close as I can make it with the resources from 2020, 2021, right? Like these enormous preflop sims run it on multiple servers for months to get this, and then copying and pasting it together. All right, guys, I've got to go pick up my partner from the train station. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Any last minute questions? No last minute questions. Everyone who's watching this, please remember to like the video, because we want to share it to people who have fallen for this, who have fallen for basically these scams, right? Sims created in Monka or whatever, from people who don't know how to use Monka Solver, don't know how to actually create good sims. They're just simping, right? It's just all simping, and they think that simping is enough to get an edge in 2021. It's not. I mean, it wasn't enough to get an edge in 2020. Like, why do you think 2021 is going to be any different? And then you've got GTO Wizard or something running 17.55 using preflop sims that just don't make sense. It's sad. It's sad that people charge through the nose for stuff like this. Yeah, I mean, when someone raises to 2.15, like, unfortunately, I don't have that in the viewer. You'll have to guess by looking at the two and like using your brain to kind of merge them together. But I've given you enough sizes that you can make your own estimates. I mean, clearly I've given you more than enough sizes to respond reasonably well. And if you see a size that's in between, you'll you should be able to kind of guess what to do by looking at both of them and trying to merge them together in your own mind. Yeah, so remember, guys, just sign up to the website. You get the button, the small button opens for free. If you like it, you can choose to buy the full 6 max, and then you get heads up and 200 big blind as well. Or what rake structure is this good for? This is 5% capped at 1, so it's somewhere between 200 and 500 NL. All right, guys, I've got to go. Thanks for joining me today with my rant. But I'll see you all later. Bye now.